Alright, exercise number 1. Just taking the whole alternate picking stuff to a more difficult way. Yeah, just like you had asked, fingers to use on the left hand. Do you use the same fingers as if you were holding the whole chord down? Yes, absolutely. You're going first, third, first, fourth, first, third. Alright, so here's what it sounds and looks like. 60. Double time. $160. $200. Oops, I forgot the last part. Now I'm wondering if I did it at 160 the whole way through. Let's go back down to 160 one more time. Just to make sure I actually play this thing correct. There. Okay. Anyway, the second one. So this is your speed picking drill for this week. Well, another speed picking drill, I should say. This part of this is I've actually been having this idea with people recently. I'm hoping this turns out to be a good thing, because I've noticed that when people do single string picking, like for speed work, versus chords, the way people will pick is not quite the same. Obviously, chords involve a bigger strum movement, but I get the feeling that a lot of people aren't pushing themselves as hard as they possibly can with some of the speed picking things. For the stuff you've been doing the past several weeks, that's perfectly fine what you've been doing, because you can't go breakneck speed on a lot of the stuff that I've been giving you, because it's just the way it's designed. It's not made for that. That stuff was just to get right hand or picking hand coordination improved. So this, what I'm curious what's going to happen. It's the idea is when you're strumming really big, you got to use a lot of arm to make it happen. And basically, the way I'm thinking about it right now is you're making those big motions, fairly violent motions, because you got to hit it pretty damn hard. You're not trying to beat the shit out of your strings, but still, there's quite a bit of effort going into that. And the idea is, the way I'm thinking about it right now, is you take that motion of strumming real big, and then just kind of trying to tighten up that movement. So instead of strumming 3 strings, you're coming down to 1. So you're tightening up the same movement you'd make for this, and eventually getting it to just a 1 string. So, yeah, let's play this guy here. I do advise taking this part of your hand, anchoring that to the body of the guitar. With your low B string, you might have that part of your hand on the B string as well. That's fine. But anyway, here we go at 60 beats a minute. Try and get my arm a bit more in here. Let's see. Alright, here we go. taking it too far. Take two. So right now at this speed, I'm just pretty much wrist. The arm's not doing the very aggressive picking. That was all wrist right there, which is fine. Totally fine. All right, 120. So I could feel a little bit of arm movement coming into play there, just to kind of help push that pick back and forth. So here comes 160. It's definitely getting much more involved. Here comes 200. Definitely a lot more arm going on in that. 220. Oh boy. Try it again. That's right. The other reason why I wanted to give this to you was when you were demonstrating the rhythm stuff from the past week. Like when you were doing your gallop stuff, you go in your down, down, up. You would keep the pick in down position and just barely get it back up for another downstroke in time. So you remember, you gotta keep it going back and forth. You've gotta get back in that habit of coming all the way back up for that upstroke again. Even if you're not hitting anything, you gotta keep it going back and forth in order to be able to hit those speeds that I just demonstrated there. Because if you don't keep that rhythm going, the back and forth, even though you're not hitting anything, you'll never reach those speeds. You have to keep it going the whole time. Okay. This one. So, look back at last week's stuff. Look at how you counted it. Listen to how you counted it. So, it seemed like you were getting the idea of what was happening here with the count stuff. So remember, if you can't figure out a count, do a little thing I had you do today. Get a piece of paper, write out the full count. So in this case, the 16th note is the fastest subdivision we have. So you write out a full count of 16th notes, the 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and then underline the part of the beat that you're playing. So what you ended up underlining here, you underlined the 1. You did not underline the E, which is good because you're not playing there. Then you underline the and. But basically, this is just your gallop right here. That's the gallop. Down, down, up. That's the 1 and it just repeats 1 and 2 and 3 and then we'll beat 4. That's your reverse. 4E and down, up, down. So what I was hoping would happen, unfortunately it didn't, but hey, that's alright, things happen the way that they do. But what I want you to try and do is recognize rhythmic patterns. Because you did that gallop rhythm right there, just the this part right here, just the 8th note, 2 16th notes. But da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. And you did a lot of these, the reverse gallops. Da-da-da, 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 da-da-da. So recognizing those, kind of just like you recognize chord shapes or scale shapes, things like that, you want to be able to recall things like this quickly too. So I know you'll get this by next week, no problem, but I just want to get you to kind of think about making an effort to remember or memorize rhythmic patterns that you can see. Because when you start recognizing things like this, you'll be able to play rhythms a lot faster. Or at least get the count of the rhythm a lot faster. So, let's play it. Basically what I got going on here is You mostly have gallops happening here. I just changed where the one reverse gallop beat occurs in each bar. So that's why I mentioned earlier today, you just got to pay attention to where the beat changes. Making the old brain work. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 E and 1 and a 2 and a 3 E and 4 and a. I just completely screwed up the chord progression. I'm thinking of something else I was doing earlier today with another student. Whoops. I guess I need to pay better attention, huh? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 E and 1 and a 2 and a 3 E and 4 and a 1 and a 2 E and 3 and a 4 and a 1 E and 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 E and 1 and a 2 and a 3 E and 4 and a 1 and a 2 E and 3 and a 4 and a 1 E and 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. Now sometimes 60 beats a minute while learning a 16th note pattern like this or more difficult ones, the 60 beats a minute might be too fast. So sometimes you got to take it like even slower than that. We got your 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and 1 and 2 and so on. So playing at that those fine. Just a reminder, you tap your foot on the downbeat, not in the middle. Because remember, if you tap your foot on the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and my hand went off camera. If you're tapping it on the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and you're not feeling out 16th notes, you're feeling 8th notes. Remember, you got to count the 1 and 2 and 3. I'm sorry, you want to tap on just the 1, 2, 3, 4. So even if you're counting a full 8th note thing or a full 16th note thing, this represents my foot. You get your 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a, even if you're doing like a really slow 16th count, like 1 E and 2 E and 3 and so on. Habit of tapping only on that downbeat. Now eventually when you get to really fast stuff, you'll find yourself tapping your foot maybe on beats 1 and 3, or maybe even just beat 1. Sometimes you get going so fast, you can't even think about tapping your foot. You know, we're talking like 200 plus beats a minute. Yeah. I think I've said all the stuff I wanted to recap. But if I missed anything, let me know. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. I will see you next week.